like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Na Dior Pop. In the fast-moving world of global stardom, where every second is scheduled and every movement is watched, it's often the smallest, quietest moments that leave the deepest impact. And today, as BTS prepared to head out for their recording session at The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, something unexpectedly simple captured the hearts of fans everywhere. It wasn't a grand entrance. It wasn't a performance. It was just a moment between Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook, soft, natural, and deeply familiar. And somehow, that made it unforgettable. Purple Heart. There are moments in the world of BTS that feel almost too small to matter. Fleeting seconds caught on camera, interactions that could easily go unnoticed if you blink at the wrong time. And yet, somehow, these are the moments that stay with fans the longest. The ones that don't need grand gestures or dramatic words. The ones that simply feel real. Today was one of those days. As the members of BTS prepared to leave together for a recording session at The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, everything seemed routine on the surface. Schedules, cars, staff moving around, cameras flashing. Just another busy day in their lives. But for those who were watching closely, something about this departure felt different. Something about them felt different. Because today, Jimin and Jungkook didn't just leave with the group. They left together. At first, it was subtle. The kind of detail you might miss if you weren't paying attention. Jimin standing just a little closer to Jungkook than usual. Jungkook glancing over as if to check where Jimin was before moving. It wasn't staged. It wasn't exaggerated. It was instinctive, natural in a way that can't be faked. And then came the moment that sent ARMY into an emotional spiral. They hugged. Not the quick, polite kind of hug you give in passing. Not the playful, exaggerated kind they sometimes do for the cameras. This was soft, comfortable, familiar. The kind of hug that looks like it belongs to a private world, accidentally revealed in public. For a brief second, everything else faded. The noise, the movement, the cameras. It was just them. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Because what made it so powerful wasn't just the hug itself, but the feeling behind it. There was no need for words. No need for explanation. You could see it in the way Jimin leaned in slightly, in the way Jungkook didn't pull away immediately. It felt like reassurance. Like habit. Like home. And then came the next detail that made the moment even more meaningful. They got into the same car. Now, to some, this might seem insignificant. After all, they're members of the same group. Of course they would travel together. But longtime fans know that these small choices often carry deeper meaning. Who stands next to who? Who waits for who? Who chooses to sit together when they don't have to? Jimin and Jungkook didn't just end up in the same car. They chose it. There's something incredibly intimate about shared spaces. A car ride, especially before a big schedule, is one of the few moments where things slow down. Where conversations can happen without an audience. Where silence can exist without pressure. And the idea of Jimin and Jungkook sitting side by side during that ride, it's enough to make anyone emotional. What did they talk about? Maybe nothing at all. Maybe everything. This is what makes Jikook so special to so many people. It's not about grand declarations or obvious displays of affection. It's about these quiet, in-between moments. The ones that feel unfiltered and genuine. The way Jungkook always seems aware of Jimin's presence. The way Jimin naturally gravitates toward Jungkook without even thinking about it. The way they exist around each other like it's the most normal thing in the world. Because for them, it probably is. As the car door closed and they drove off together, fans were left with a mix of emotions, happiness, warmth, and that familiar ache that comes from witnessing something beautiful and fleeting. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't part of a stage. It was just a moment. And yet, it meant everything. There's also something poetic about where they were headed. A recording session for Jimmy Fallon. A place where BTS has shared laughter, unforgettable performances, and countless iconic moments. a place tied to their journey as global artists. And today, as they returned once again, they carried with them not just their talent and professionalism, but these quiet pieces of their bond. Because no matter how big the stage gets, no matter how global their schedules become, it's these small connections that keep them grounded. Jimin and Jungkook have grown up together in front of the world. From trainees chasing a dream to artists standing on some of the biggest stages in the world. Their journey has been long, exhausting, and filled with both triumphs and challenges. And through it all, they've had each other. You can see it in moments like today. Moments that don't need explanation. Moments that simply are. For ARMY, it's impossible not to feel something when witnessing this. Because it reminds us that behind the fame, the lights, and the schedules, there are real people who find comfort in each other. People who, even in the middle of chaos, reach out instinctively for someone who feels safe. Someone who understands without needing words. As the footage of their departure continues to circulate, fans replay it over and over again. Not because it's dramatic or shocking, but because it's soft. Because it feels like a glimpse into something real. And in a world where so much is curated and controlled, moments like this are rare. They're precious. Maybe that's why it hits so hard. Because it reminds us that sometimes love, or whatever name you want to give it, doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes it's in a quiet hug before getting into a car. Sometimes it's in choosing to sit next to someone when you don't have to. Sometimes it's in the way two people move through the world like they're connected by something invisible, yet unbreakable. Today wasn't just about a schedule. It wasn't just about Jimmy Fallon. It wasn't even just about BTS. It was about a moment, a feeling, a reminder that even in the busiest, loudest, most chaotic parts of life, there are still these small, quiet pieces of connection that mean everything. And today, Jikook gave us one of those moments. Without saying a single word. Purple Heart. In the end, it wasn't the schedule or the destination that stayed with fans. It was the feeling left behind by Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook. A quiet hug, a shared ride, a moment of closeness that needed no explanation. Sometimes, the most meaningful stories are the ones spoken without words. And today, Jikook reminded us of that in the softest way possible. Purple Heart.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream